is the Grazing for Profit course. And that's what most people, there's probably two avenues. You can get direct support from you guys, or you can be part of the course. Are probably the two main things to RCS that I hear about the course all the time. Can you just give a quick outline of this Grazing for Profit course, Terry? Is it just your brain on paper and in presentations?
It is, and other brains. Like, it's many brains on paper and in discussion and on the screen and in all sorts of different formats. It's more than a course. It's actually a process, which is why that lady came out the other day and said, you know, potentially you've saved our marriage as well, because it actually changes people. You cannot go through it and come out the other end the same person you went in or not, and not see the world differently. And so to do that process, and it's a very sophisticated process. It's actually been evolving over about 40 years. So it's not a course that we sat down one day and decided to write. It actually comes from Stan Parsons and right back in Alan Savory and Stan Parsons' roots, and it's evolved and grown and continues to grow, you know, every year. But so what we cover is economics, finance. So we look at how to analyse a business, the tools you need to run a business from a financial point of view effectively, rules around borrowing money, and how you manage money in a business. We do a lot around personal stuff. There's quite a lot of personal development in the school, and some of that is around time management, some of it is around overcoming problems. We look at goals and visions, and then look at constraints. What stops people achieving their constraints? And the conclusion we've come to over a long period of time is that all our constraints are in fact self-imposed. So we look at how we overcome. You know, it could be lack of knowledge, lack of self-belief is a massive constraint that always comes up with a big pile of people. Lack of confidence, lack of self-belief, etc., etc. So as a part of the process, we address those things. So then we look at ecology, because a farm is an ecosystem, and we cannot separate ecosystem health from productivity. So we start with the ecosystem, and then we look at plant production principles. So what is it that drives plant production? How's biology involved in that? How's sunlight involved in that? What can we do as managers to capitalise on the things we get for free? So we get sunlight, water, air, soil biology, ecosystem services and subtle energy, all for free. There is no other manufacturing business that gets that many raw materials for free. And so therefore but the problem is that we all undervalue the things we get for free, but we've got to put value on those things and therefore manage them to improve our outcomes. Then we look at grazing management principles, how to manage grass and animals together. We've got a bit of practical stuff around infrastructure and how to develop a property effectively for this century, because there's a lot of stuff that's different in this century from the last century. Things like energy, the cost of energy, energy efficiency we need to think about, labour use efficiency we've got to think about, environmental outcomes, the fact that there's an eye in the sky looking at everything you do every day that wasn't there in the last century. So there's a whole lot of things that we've got to plan for and manage for. We also look at drought management, and we develop a whole lot of drought management principles together. And then we look at things like animal nutrition, reproduction. How do we go about monitoring our landscape, our productivity? We've got a tool called the grazing chart, which is the only tool that I'm aware of that can predict a drought and tell you when it's over. So it's a very, very powerful tool. And then we bring all that together in a process that's quite unique. So it's an exciting process. It's very intense, but that's part of its function and its purpose. And people come out the other end with hope and motivation.
Thank you for your attention and for watching this video. Click here or somewhere to watch more of our videos. If you're new here, please do subscribe. We want more of your attention. We want to get you inspired to get onto your farm. Let's get you farming.